Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and I believe it was last week, I reviewed a foreign film called Shamitab. This week, I'm gonna be reviewing another foreign film, called Summer Only We Know. The original title, gonna try to say it. It's a Chinese movie, and it is called Yu Yi Gi Di Fang Zi Yu Wo Men Zi Deo. Hopefully, I did not fuck that up because I do not know Chinese. So yeah, and by the way, Shamitab was an Indian movie. This is Chinese, still Asian. Yeah, yeah. Don't get that confused. India is still part of Asia. It's just that India's a subcontinent. Kind of like Australia. It's kind of a subcontinent in its own way. Yeah. But before I begin though, 10 seconds. Yeah. By the way, before I begin though, this movie stars Gordon Alexander, Jaina Trevosky, Claudia Vazakova, Lakun Wang, Yifan Wu, Jinglei Zhu, and yeah, that's basically it for the cast. And yeah, before I begin though, 10 second spoiler warning as usual. For those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, stop the video, go check it out, and come back and watch the rest of this review. You may want to, you're gonna want to watch it. If and by the way, just a tip, since it is a foreign film, I recommend you go try either A, searching it up if your local theater has it, and if not, go to an art house theater. They normally have foreign films. So yeah, before I begin though, 10 second spoiler warning as usual for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10 second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those that have to actually watch the movie and haven't already, please do not comment down below or be messaging me. That never give you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. So yeah, basically this is I went into this movie completely blind. I just knew I just because recently I've been trying to watch a bit more foreign movies because I do actually like them a bit. More art house movies, more foreign movies. So I saw this on my local theater. Which normally shows mainstream movies. I mean, normally they have that one or two art house theater type of movies. In this case, they did have it. Um, what was I saying? But yeah, so I wanted to go watch it, and basically it's a romance story or kind of a love story. So yeah, and basically you have these two Chinese kids, and they fall in love, and the girl, she has this grandmother, um who was around in World War II, and she basically saying that this love story kind of mirrors, yeah, kind of is similar or mirrors her grandmother's love story to that of an American scientist or physicist or doctor or something like that. It was I think it was like doc. I'm pretty sure it was a doctor or something, or like doctor in science or something like that, or professor in science, something like that. I don't think they never went that deep in it. It had to be a doctor because the grandmother was a nurse. Yeah. Whatever. So, and she's basically saying how it kind of mirrors that aspect, and yeah, I mean, overall, it's actually a pretty good movie. It did have subtitles for the most part. It did have subtitles, and I thought it was pretty good. I have no problem reading it. So yeah, for the most part, that's pretty good. The writing for the most part, it is pretty good. I mean, there are a few parts where it is cheesy or it is too over over romanced. I don't know. I don't want to say over dramatic because it's not really that much of a dramatic movie. I mean, it does have its moments, but it's more cheesy. Sometimes it's more cheesy or just too mushy or too over romantic, I guess. So it does fault in that aspect. Yeah, but the acting is actually pretty good. I do have to admit the acting is actually pretty believable and pretty good. It did have a bit of a pacing issue, I do have to say too, because sometimes it just cuts from the younger couple to the younger couple in present day to the older couple back in like World War II. It kind of just kind of skips through it. And one thing that really took me out of the movie that I really didn't like was when the actors spoke in English. Um, yeah, during the World War II era romance sections where you have the grandmother and her husband or boyfriend or whatever, um, when they're talking, it's always in English. And I mean, I mean, I'm good with it being in English at times, And I understand the guy's American. Logically, the guy's American, so I guess she needed to know English. But or maybe British, but the guy knew English. Period. Um, but for some reason, it really just took me out of the movie. I don't know. Maybe it was just a voiceover, or whatever, like the voiceovers. But when the actors were and when the actors were speaking in English, that really took me out of the movie. I mean, that's really my one major complaint. I mean, aside from that, sometimes it is a bit over romantic, but overall, it's actually a pretty good movie. It's a pretty good romance movie. If you have a chance to see it, do go check it out. You're not gonna dislike it. I was gonna say something, but I kind of lost for words. But you're not gonna regret it, is what I was gonna say. It's actually a pretty good movie, And yeah, I mean, in my theater, I understand this is an art house. That was an art house movie, foreign movie, so not many people are gonna go watch it. But in my theater, it was just me, this this old Asian lady in the front, and like three Asian kids in the back. And me and my two friends. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty empty, but overall, it was actually a pretty good movie. I do have to say, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, I do think some things could be improved, such as especially the voiceovers, I guess, because that really took me out. And sometimes they kind of and some also one before I stop, I want to say within the last 20 to 30 minutes, I do think this movie could have been cut down by at least 20 or 30 minutes, or at least 20 minutes, because it's an hour and 45 minutes. So yeah, at least 20 minutes, because by the end you're kind of like saying, you're kind of thinking like, hurry up, when is this gonna end? And you kind of do get a bit antsy, but overall it's actually a pretty good movie. On a scale of 1 to 10, one being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I give it a 7 out of 10. It's actually a pretty good movie. Do go check it out if you can. And yeah, that's basically it for this review. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. If you guys want to go watch the movie, as I said before, the most likely places where you're gonna watch it are at an art house theater. But do go check at your local theaters, just in case, because they may have it at times. But I think personally, I'd check the art house theaters as well. Uh, so yeah, and aside from that, that's basically it for now. Subscribe, comment down below on your thoughts on the movie if you have seen it. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. That's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.